Hey, I got a Vent Sense versus video here for you. It's Creed Virgin Island Water versus some of the alternative clone fragrances. In my opinion, Creed Virgin Island Water is the king of the summer fragrances. And if you watch my channel much, you'll realize I'm really into these clone fragrances, and I like to see how close they can get to the original. They can add a twist, they can increase performance, etc. I see that sometimes they can get a general scent profile down, but there aren't like layers to it. There's no top, middle, base notes, changing the whole experience. It's just a linear scent experience throughout the life of the fragrance. And you're missing some of the nuances of the art of perfumery when that happens. Basically just a general linear scent that just starts out strong and progressively just kind of dies off. You're not getting any kind of layers. And sometimes you can just feel the quality of the oils from the original is just worse. But these clones, sometimes they outperform the original overall, and in longevity, sillage, and overall performance. And yeah, and sometimes they're just a little bit of a twist where they highlight a certain note or two and kind of take it that direction. And I enjoy that too. Sometimes they'll take out a note or two that actually improves on the scent DNA too. Maybe the perfumer liked it, but I don't. And also it gets me really close to the scent DNA where I can decide if I want to maybe purchase a decant of the real fragrance, or maybe I just need a whole bottle of the real fragrance just because I like it so much. And if it's one of my favorites, I generally will buy at least a 10 milliliter or a full bottle of it at some point. And it's just a easier, cheaper way to kind of cover a lot of scent DNAs and decide if you like those or don't like those. If you're trying to spend all the money on designers and niche on these things, you'll go broke. So at least you can get close and a lot cheaper. And I get to that the original perfumer, that one gets more credit because a perfumer worked on it with the company and they came out with the scent profile, and these clone companies are just copying it. And some of the ones like Virgin Island Water and several other ones, I get a bunch of clones of it just because I like seeing how close they can get. Each take is just a little bit different, just a hair or two off, this or that. And it also, gives me a lot of juice of that scent DNA. So I've also got a lot of like DNAs of where they mix this one with several other fragrances, or at least one other, and make like a hybrid fragrance. But I'm not including those in any of these videos except for one. I'm going to put it in here, and it's just because it's so subtle. And then I'll give my opinion on each of these, and then I'll just give an overall score at the end. Okay, sorry to ruin the suspense right out of the gate, but the winner right out of the gate is the regular original Virgin Island Water. It's just tropical beach in a bottle. Coconut, lime, citrus, light florals with rum, sugar cane at the base. This is an older batch, and this one performs really well. I'm going to guess the newer formulations don't. It just seems to be the way it's happening with these reformulations. And this is just getting points because the art of perfumery involved here for coming up with this, and the quality of the juice, and just the way the layering of these fragrances is done. And like I said, a lot of the scores go into this because they're the ones that come up with this formula, and they had a perfumer concept this whole constructed scent profile. So everything else is just copying that. So this is a perfect 10 out of 10 right here. Next up is this Dua Caribbean Waters. This is really good. They have amped up some of the notes and increased performance quite a bit. And this is really beast mode performance on this thing. And it's really close to the original scent DNA. It's a little bit more linear like I'm talking about, but it's just really nice all the way through. And there are some layers to this. I'll give this one a 9 out of 10. Let's get this up in the air for a second. Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, you can't go wrong with this. This is really cheap and great performance. Okay, next up is this Alexandria Hawaii Volcano. This one is super close to the original. It's difficult to tell the two versions apart when I'm wearing these in terms of performance, scent, the way it transitions and evolves through the opening, mid and dry down. This is really close. They did a really good job on this. It doesn't smell cheap or anything. It smells almost comparable quality of ingredients, but I'm sure it can't be. But man, to my nose, it seems really close. And I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely a good one to get. Okay, next up is this Samy Andraus Caribbean Island. This one is very strong projecting and performing. It's got more lemon and citrus notes amped up, and that lime toned down a little bit. And I really like this little slight twist on this one. I'm giving them points for that because the way they twisted it, it's not just another clone. And I'll give this an 8 out of 10. Real strong performing and a real nice scent. Okay, the next 4 are going to be from Parfums Vintage. they use a lot of high quality oils, and they do a great job on all their inspirations and originals. And they got a ton of Creta Venice different directions on that. Their Creta Venice ones are really awesome. I mean, they have like 30 different versions of Creta Venice, with the pineapple amped up, down, the birch up, down, all kinds of different things. And then even like this Virgin Island water, there's like 4 or 5 of these. And Rosa Elysium, there's 4 or 5. And yeah, I just recommend everything from that house. It's all really good and performs really well. And they're not playing around over there. They're doing good work. So this is the only hybrid type fragrance I'm including in this competition, because it's just so slight of a change. It's barely changed, and it's so close. It's not a bit, you know, going a whole different direction at all. So I'm going to let this one be included in this one. So this one is this is the Isla Tropical Prive Intense, and it's just a slight change. Like I said, it's just amped up more lime, and it's layered with this Roman Monagal, the Isla Blanc. So it's still about 90% similar, but just slightly more tropical beach drink mojito flavor mixed in. And performance is really good on this thing. And this is so good, I ordered another bottle. It's on its way now to me. I had to have this one. And I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. This is really good. I can't recommend this one enough. Okay, Parfums Vintage Isla Tropical Prive Extreme is really close to the original, with all the notes ramped up, especially the lime and mandarin orange. And then there's some light floral notes are amped up just slightly. And it's not floral at all, but you can just pick those up a little bit better. And this is really nice, a 9 out of 10. Again, great performance. All these Parfums Vintage are gonna have great performance. Next up is Parfums Vintage Isla Tropical. This one seems like more their like straight down the middle clone of Virgin Island water. Really close and a side by side. This is just projects more and lasts a little longer. A great choice if you just want a very close, stronger projecting version of the original. That's what this one would be out of their line. And this is an 8.5 out of 10. Another excellent choice. Okay, last up is this Isla Tropical Prive. This one seems like they ramped up the base notes of sugarcane, white musk, and rum. Again, great performance. This one's an 8.7 out of 10. You can't go wrong if you choose this one either. All these are really good. Okay, the original has won the Event Sense Versus. But as you can tell by all the high scores I gave all these clones, that there are a lot of less expensive ways to get near this scent DNA, and they smell almost as good, maybe slightly better in some cases, not perform the original. But the original just going to win because it's the original and it has you know, high quality ingredients. And but this is a good example of what makes better sense, in my opinion, to go with a clone fragrance price point if money is no object, or if you're just nuts like me, and maybe a little bit get both if you're like me. I mean, get the original and that. So it just depends on where you're at with this. But yeah, you don't need to go out there and spend several $100s on this one if you don't want to, even though it's worth it, I think. But these other clones are just going to get you so close for so much less. And so if you made it this far, you could like, subscribe, and comment. That helps my algorithm.